Well, good morning. Welcome to Thoughts Can Change Your Life with me, Reverend Wolak. We're here each and every day at 8 a.m. except on Sundays. Sundays at 7:30. And so today, I thought about this idea that people, me, you, everyone, we tend to bury things. We bury things in the back of our mind. And then we were taught that as children. We're taught that. For me, it was, you got to be strong. Boys don't cry. Boys don't feel that. Boys act this way. Boys act that way. And I know that that's the same for girls as well. So we're taught at a very young age to repress, to suppress, to bury within the subconscious mind things that happen. The other thing we tend to do is we tend to bury in our subconscious mind those things that we feel we're failures at, those things that we don't believe we're good enough. And we also bury in our mind that other people are better than us. But we'll be talking about the fact that we're equal to everyone, but in our mind, we don't believe it. We believe that so-and-so is better than I am. Here's a key thing I want to say about that. There is no better or worse. There's just unique and different. If you really can embrace that idea that there is just unique and different, think about how that frees you. Yeah, Anita, you're right. The male gender suffers emotional oppression in general, yes. And here's a key thing. A lot of men who are in relationships with beautiful women, the women want to say, well, let your emotions out, let your emotions out, let your emotions out. It's easy, it's easy, it's easy. No, it's not. First off, it's been so ingrained that it feels natural to repress. Also, if you bring it out, then you're vulnerable. And we're always seeking to have other people's approval. That's another problem we've got. We're seeking other people's approval. And that holds us back from being authentic. Jackie says, I wear my heart on my sleeve. I'm officially a crybaby. What does that mean? I'm a crybaby. Do you cry at everything? Do you let everything affect you? Can't do that. Now, I'm not saying it's bad to cry, but you can't let everything affect you. Got to ask the question, who's controlling me? Me or an outside influence? That's really a big thing. Who's controlling me? Me or an outside influence? My friend Keshav in India goes, Lee, nearing 11,000. Do you know what he's talking about? He's talking about 11,000 subscribers on YouTube. So if you've not subscribed to my channel, Rev Lee Wolak on YouTube, please do that. We're trying, the more subscribers we get, the more the message gets out to more and more and more people. That's why we want more and more people, because if you're watching this, chances are you believe there's value. If there's value to you, do you think maybe there's value to others? I do. Also, Saturday, I'm doing a workshop on determining your top values. If you've not done that, I'd highly suggest you sign up. That workshop is the single best thing I've ever done, ever will. Maybe ever will. I don't know ever will, but it's the best thing I've ever done. It's the thing that got me tuned in to who I am more than anything I've done in my entire life. Ian says, crying is very hard for me to do, but when I do cry, it feels like it is a very healing thing to do. Yeah, I agree. I tend, when I get emotional and I cry, it tends to be when I'm by myself. It tends to be when I'm stimulated by something. I'll tell you what, the two movies I watched recently, Hector and the Search for Happiness, and Middleton, all on Amazon Prime. There were moments in there when I felt the tears coming because it opened my heart. I could feel through other people's experiences. Why? Because I knew it was the same experience I have had. When we feel, we're identifying with something that we know is within us. And that's good. That is really, really good. Thank you for all the affirmation about this channel. I find it so relieving to cry when I get overwhelmed. I do a little bit differently, Lydia. When I get overwhelmed, here's what I've come to understand. The busier I am, the more I need to meditate. Did you just hear what I said? It's sort of like contrary to what you would think. If you're busier, you've got to you've got to work more. No, meditate more. Because once you meditate, your mind gets calmed down and you'll actually be more productive because you're in a different state. You're not in an overwhelmed state. The other thing is that once I meditate, I go, okay, what is my next course of action that aligns with my top values? You know how I brought it back to values? And if I'm overwhelmed, then it's things that are really not important to me, but things other people have thrown at me, I find a way to not do them. I am dedicating my life to doing what values to me. And you're saying, Lee, how do you know what values to you? Well, let me tell you, I've done the values process on myself dozens and dozens of times. I do it about every 3 months. And so here, you'll notice I've got, let me put it so everyone can see. You'll see I've got my mission statement to expand human awareness. My purpose is to teach how to live consciously and experience a fulfilled and meaningful life. My number 1 value is to become more aware. My 2 is to teach. My 3 is interpersonal connection. My 4th is personal health and well-being. My 5th is to explore human behavior and spirituality. And number 6 is to be financially comfortable. These are on my desk. Every day I look at them many times. And so when someone comes to me and says, Reverend Lee, you got to do this, I say, wait, does it fit any of my values? If it doesn't fit my values, I don't do it. Because I'm the master of my life, not anyone else. I'm not going to turn my power over to anyone else. Yeah, Ian's done the values workshop, so he understands. I find that it is in crying that taking a shower and then meditating provides me with the best relief. The meditation is calming. Good. Now, if you're doing Wim Hof, cold showers every day. It stimulates the immune system. It wakes you up. Oh my God. And you know what's happening? Here in Dallas, Fort Worth, we've had every day, it's been over 80 degrees. Tomorrow, the high will be like 72. We won't see 80 degrees Fahrenheit for a while. So you know what happens when it gets colder? Cold showers get colder. That's what I do. When I get in, I go, because it awakens you. Why I love the cold showers? Because when you're taking a cold shower, you know you're alive. You know what I mean? How many people are so numb? But you take that shower, like it was 2 days ago. It was Sunday afternoon. I'd done a service that day. I was really busy. Wife and I went to the gym in the afternoon, and I was there, and I was just sort of, ugh. And I said, well, wait, let's get juiced. So I took a cold shower like about 4 o'clock in the afternoon, and then I came out real peppy. It wakens you. You see, there's so many ways to awaken ourselves. And you notice how does a cold shower fit into my values? Number 1, it makes me more aware, doesn't it? Number 1 value. Number 2, it supports my health and well-being. Number 3, I'm teaching it right now, or not right now. That's my number 2 value. Isn't that interesting? Anita, exactly. Your immune response is much stronger because your body is stimulated to have an immune response when you have the cold hit your body. Now, you couldn't get my wife, at least till today, because she hasn't yet, get her to take a cold shower. Woohoo! There's no way. Who knows what will happen in the future? Guess what? I'm not attached. Don't care. I know I get stimulated with it. It makes me alive. See, my value. Notice my value here. There's no value on here that says I need to control anyone else. Do you get that? So if it's not a value to control anyone else, I don't do it. So if you're in a relationship and you want to control your partner, one of your top values is to be in control. Very interesting. Some Wim Hof fans sit in ice baths. I've not done that, Jackie. I've been in the coldest I've been into spas where the tub, that cold tub that you dip into, 56 degrees. That's cold. Fahrenheit, that's cold. 32 degrees? Woo! That's when you get freezer marks on your butt cheeks. Wait a second. Did the minister say butt cheeks? Well, yeah. Just being authentic. Yeah, butt cheeks are not bad. Butt cheeks. Guess what? Every human being on the planet has butt cheeks. But we make it a bad thing, don't we? Because we've been conditioned. That's why I talked about today. What have you been conditioned that you've repressed? Do you not love who you are? Do you not love your body as it is? Remember, love means to accept. Until you accept, you can't be in the now. If you're not in the now, you can't create a new future because you're stuck in the past. Did you just see where I went? I took a humorous thing and I made it really serious, didn't I? Because there's always got to be balance. Lydia says, I'm making her laugh today. Well, good. If you knew Lydia, you know when she smiles, she lights up the world. Lights up the world. Realize that your body is the vessel through which you experience life. Why wouldn't you want to polish it? I love twice a year, I put a coat of polish on my car. Why? Because when my car is clean and shiny, for me, it drives better. I look good in it. I feel good in it. And I cannot be in a dirty automobile. I cannot. I won't. I don't like it. It makes me feel dirty. My wife's completely opposite of me there. Twice a year, I'll clean her car out just because, acts of service are her number 1 value. When I do that, she's very appreciative. Acts of service are not my number 1 value as far as love languages. My number 1 love language is quality time. Number 2 is physical touch. Number 3 is acts of service. Number 4 is words of praise. And number 5 is gifts. Gifts are not something that mean a lot to me. I'd rather have quality time with someone. So, hey, I've gone on 14 minutes. Everybody, thank you for joining me. If you've not taken the values workshop, it might be something you consider. Also, join our Telegram account. It's in the description. And look for Agape Spiritual Center. And this is where you post and you answer each other. It's not just Lee Wolak, it's you. Because you make Agape up, not Lee Wolak. Anyway, I love you. I know who you are. And you're perfect just like you are. Until then, have a great day, everybody. Aloha.